Who are we speaking with today?
My name is Eugenia.
Tell us a bit about yourself, Miss Eugenia.
Well, I'm disabled. Um, I'm married. Um, I basically stay in a boarding house.
How did you grow up? Like, give us your background on how you
Okay,
grew up.
when I grew up, I had 6 siblings. My mother and my mother's husband, which was not my father, we stayed in the same house. Well, he took care of all the bills and she did the household, you know, basically the household stuff and the children. I didn't feel loved by my mother because I was made out of cheating with my mother, okay? And I didn't feel loved because she seemed like she treated me different than anybody else. I tried to satisfy her the way that I could, as far as grades in school and doing things that I thought would make her proud, but it didn't. Other than that, everything was okay. My older sister was basically like my mother. She loved me regardless of what I did and how I did it. When I was 15 years old, I got pregnant, had my baby at 16. Then I got pregnant again at 16 and had a baby at 17. Then I ended up leaving my mother's home and getting with a pimp. I'm not gonna call his name, but
What was that situation like, and how did you get introduced to him?
I met him one day through a girlfriend of mine, like a godmother of mine, and I didn't know he was a pimp, but he wound and died for about 3 months, and then he took me home where all of his women were and introduced me to the set. It wasn't like he taught me what to do out here. I had to get out here and find out how to do it myself. And I did that. I was with him for 5 years. I left him. He burnt down my mother's house because I left him. They didn't lock him up because they said that we didn't see him do it, but we knew he did it. Anything else you want to know?
What schools did you go to?
I went to Langston Elementary School on Wabra, and I went to Beaumont on Natural Bridge.
Did you graduate?
I waited to the 12th grade, but by me having the 2 kids, my mother made me drop out of school.
How was it being a young single mom back then?
It wasn't too bad because my mother helped.
You had brothers and sisters, you said.
And they helped as well.
Okay, so where did life take you after you left school and you were trying to raise your babies?
The streets.
Who introduced you to the streets?
I told you the pimp that I met.
You met him soon after?
Right after I had my babies. And right after I quit school. My mother wouldn't let me take my kids with me, but she kept my kids and I ended up out here. But when she seen the car that he was driving, she told me that he was a pimp. And I didn't believe her, but
what kind of car was he driving?
A Cadillac, a two-tone blue Cadillac.
What year is this?
79.
How did you feel when you got involved with him? Like, in the beginning, you thought it was something else, but when you find out, okay, then what happened?
I basically, with the women that I met, that was his, it quickly had me to stop having intimate sex with him and being intimate with him, basically, because he had too many women. But when I met the streets, I knew how to protect myself because he taught me that.
You left him, then where did life take you after you left him?
I ended up getting with someone else. Because the streets, they say that you're outlaw when you're on the streets and you don't have a man. And I always try to keep a man, even if he wasn't about the game. I tried to keep that to respect the game.
What did you learn about the game that you kind of hold still with you to this day?
Having a man out here on the street.
So it's no such thing as being an outlaw on the streets. You have to be with a man or...
No. Now cocaine is basically the females' men out here. But I have a husband, so that's my man, you know. So
how long have you been married?
I've been married for 5 years, but I was in a relationship with this guy for over 28 years, off and on.
What made you guys get married finally?
Love.
So when did you know you were in love with him? Or that you couldn't live without him?
You know, I didn't know. Okay, when I was out here on the streets and I did have a man, but he didn't watch me like this guy did, right? And the reason why I say that, because things happened where I didn't know he was even watching me. He was watching me all these years and I never knew it. And making sure I was safe. If I went to a hotel, he made sure I came out. You know, and then one night I ended up getting in a car that I didn't want to be in. And he noticed that the door closed in a way that got the car taken off. And he followed the car. And I didn't even know he was even following the car. And the guy pulled up and said, "Get out of my car, bitch, because you're too much trouble." Not knowing that the person that was watching me all these years, well, God placed him there. That's what I say. God placed him there to keep me safe. Because I am a God-fearing woman, even though I do this. God knows. He say, acknowledge him in all my ways. I acknowledge him in all my ways. You know? No matter what I'm doing, I don't care about talking about him because he is my number one. So, but after he did that, I ended up walking to his car, not knowing that who he was, and he got to telling me how he watched me, and that was how we first got together. But he was like a manly woman, where a lot of women was up on there. He don't really deal with men. Where when I came into his life, it was like more offish with the women. So yeah, and I fell in love with him like that.
Have you had any other jobs besides being out here?
Yes, I was a nurse today, CNA, qualified as CNA. I do get Social Security and disability because I did work, you know, and some just get disability because of their ailments. But I get it for my ailment and also my working.
How long did you work as a CNA, and what made you stop?
Well, even though I was out on the streets, I still tried to keep a job. And I really didn't stop. It was like my mother got sick. Well, I started taking care of her. My oldest sister got sick. My mother, she ended up in a nursing home, but my oldest sister, the one that was like my mother, she ended up with lung cancer, and she asked me to come and take care of her and to read the Bible to her. You know, I was always in my Bible, you know, and basically, I miss her so much. And I basically didn't stop. And then my second oldest sister, she passed from, she had a heart attack. And now I'm the oldest, and I have two younger brothers and a younger sister. And life is still good because I'm still here. Yeah.
Miss Eugenia, what kind of advice could you give a young lady thinking about coming out on these streets?
That's not a good thing to do. You know, because once you're out here, it seems like you never stop being out. And it's not good because the life is in someone else's hand when you're out here. But see, mine is in God's hand because I bring it with me every time I come.
If you can go back knowing what you know today and talk to a young Miss Eugenia, what would you tell her?
Not to do the things that I did.
And if there's anything you want to leave us with on the close out, Miss Eugenia, any positive wisdom, knowledge, whatever you want to leave us with, now's the time you can do it.
Okay. Always love God first. Put him first. Always love yourself before you love others. Because you can't love yourself. I mean, you can't love others without loving yourself.
We appreciate you, Miss Eugenia, and we wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you.